Alright guys, welcome back to Son of Scotland TV. It is almost time for the start of the Scottish Premiership season, and that can only mean one thing. Loads of videos on this channel. Yes, I've been neglecting it lately, but I can guarantee that we are back. I am back, and the vids are going to be back. I'll be making vids left, right and centre this season on Scottish football. Every single game will be covered. Well, especially Heart games. I can't promise that I'm going to cover every single game. There's probably going to be 22 skirt-wearing fannies playing up the north of Scotland somewhere on a big hill that I might not be able to do a review on. But for most of the games, for most of the big games, we will definitely cover them now. A big topic, speaking of big, doesn't get much bigger than predicting the final league table. And that is what I'm here today, guys. We're going to be using the BBC Sport website. I'll just put it straight out there. Fuck the BBC. The BBC can go fuck themselves, but they're the only place I could find a predictor table. So, yeah, I'm going to have to use the BBC. Now, also, before I go any further, I've yet to make a video on my final thoughts, basically, on the Euros, and I will be doing that probably tomorrow. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I want to get my final views and thoughts on how the whole campaign went for Scotland and what do I think of Steve Clarke's, position in charge and whether I think he should stay or not. And our hopes on the current World Cup qualifying campaign. But before we get into that, that is a fid for another topic. Here we go. We've got the Scottish Premiership table. So we're going to rank from 12th to 1st. Now I'm going to be realistic, guys, here. I'm going to go the positions that I legit think teams will finish in. I'm not going to say Hearts are going to win the league because I don't think we will. I'd almost be willing to bet my life that they won't. And I'm not going to say Celtic are going to get relegated because as bad as they are, they ain't going to go down. We need to be realistic here, guys, and that's what I plan on being. See, Craig Levein, ex-Hearts manager. Fucking hopefully he stays ex-manager this time. I'm sick of him keep getting shots. I mean, what is this? What's he want? It's like 1200th goal as the Hearts manager. Piss off, Craig Levein. But anyway, here we go. 12 in the Scottish Premier League table. I don't think it's going to be any of the two teams that came up. I will say that. And I'm just gonna go who I think is getting relegated, guys. To me, there was three teams that were below the rest of the teams in the league last year. I think two of them have been relegated, so I have to go with the next weakest side, and I'm going to go with Ross County. I think Ross County have survived, for a while now. Let's be real, they're not a good team. They don't spend a lot of money, and I don't expect them to. They don't have much money, but I do feel especially with Hamilton being out of the league now, I just feel it could be Ross County's time to go down. But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say they're guaranteed to go down. There is some teams in the league I think they could finish above, of course, but at the moment, I don't think it's looking good for Ross County, and I'm going to predict them to go down in the automatic relegation position. Right, moving on to 11th. Things could slightly get harder here, but I'm going to go with... who am I going to go with? That's the question, guys. Who am I going to go with? I'm going to go... controversial, I know, but I'm going to go with St Mirren. I just don't think they're that good. Their form last season for a period of time was great, but overall, I'm not convinced about the quality of the side, and I do think that they will finish 11th. Whether they go down or not, I don't know. It's going to depend on the form of the team that they play in the Championship playoff, but I am going to go St Mirren in 11th. Things probably will get a wee bit more trickier for me now. Going into 10th, I need to narrow it down who it's not going to be. I'm looking at who it's not going to be. And now I need to think who it is going to... I mean, St Johnstone did so well last season. I can't say they're going to finish this low. I just can't. I mean, the job that Davidson done, it was quality. You know what I mean? It was Callum Davidson deserves a medal. I know he wasn't at the Olympics, but I'd give him the gold medal anyway. Fuck it, he done a great job. It's not going to be Aberdeen. Aberdeen are going to do big things this season. It's not going to be them. It's not going to be Celtic. I'm leaning towards perhaps Livingston, or Although they did have a really, really good spell last season where they went 14 games unbeaten, but I think towards the end of the season they did tend to drop off a lot, didn't they? I'm going to go with I am going to go with Livingston. I'm going to go with Livingston in 10th. In ninth place, I'm going to go newly promoted Dundee. I think they'll do well, but I don't think they will do that well. Yeah, I'm going to go. I think they've got enough quality to stay up, but I don't think they're going to make any sort of impression on the top six. So I'm going with Dundee in ninth. Dundee United, one week they seem to be really good, the next week they seem to be really poor. I'm gonna put them in next though. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in next. So yeah, Dundee United, boom, they're going to be beside their Dundee rivals. I'm putting them in eighth. Might seem a bit low, but it's just what I'm going with. Into seventh place, I'm going to go with maybe controversial. I'm going to go with Motherwell. I think Motherwell have got a solid squad, but I just don't see them getting top six, even if they do have the best right back in the league, Stevie O'Donnell. But I'm going to go with Motherwell in seventh place, just missing out in the top six. So that's my bottom six, guys. Ross County, St Mirren, Livingston, Dundee, Dundee United, and Motherwell. I can see a lot of people having the same bottom six as me. Perhaps not in the correct order, not in this exact order, but I'd be surprised if this isn't most people's bottom six, because I think the top five kind of pick themselves just due to the amount of money that they have, and they're just the five biggest clubs in Scotland, whether you like it or not. And then for me, sixth has to be St Johnstone, just due to they have to be the sixth team in the top six due to the job that Callum Davison done last season. And I'm going to say he does a similar good job this year. Will he repeat the cup double? Surely not. If he does, then I will go out and say he's the best manager of all time. If he can repeat another cup double and a top six finish, I will say Callum Davison is the best manager of all time. But he's not going to. But I do think he'll get another top six finish with St Johnstone. Some solid defenders. Very solid. Sander Clark, great goalkeeper. I do think St Johnstone will be hard to beat, and I do think they'll do enough to secure a top six finish. Right, we're moving into the top five now. To me, unless there's something wrong, these five should always be in the top five. It's kind of like in England when you used to have your top four or your top six, and it was always the same teams. Albeit the last couple of seasons that's kind of changed now. But I think in Scotland, I just think that these five teams are a lot bigger than the rest. Bigger facilities, bigger transfer budgets, bigger wages, better players, and I feel like these five should always be the top five, unless, of course, you could have a bad seat. Well, Hearts went in the top flight, so, Rangers have been down, Hibs have been down, so obviously shit happens to some teams, but in fifth place, I'm going to go, not necessarily like it, guys, but I'm going to go Hearts. To be honest, I'd probably be happy first season back if we can finish fifth. I'd probably settle for that, then push on for next year. I think we'll do alright. I think we'll close up. I think we'll get some big victories over the season. But overall, I do think probably fifth will be about as good as it gets for us. If we can, if we could finish fourth above this team here, above Hibs, I'd take that. I think Hibs are going to be fourth. Finished third last season. I do not think Hibs have improved their squad. I think they're more likely to sell their better players rather than improve the team, and that is why I'm going to go fourth. So far I've got it. The top six: St Johnstone, Hearts, and Hibs. In third place, right, I want to be realistic here. I think Aberdeen are going to have a really good season, but that doesn't mean that I think Aberdeen are going to finish higher than third. I don't think Aberdeen are going to finish higher than third. But what I do think will happen is, I do think that Aberdeen will be second for quite a long period of this season, and I expect Celtic to make a managerial change probably around November, maybe December, possibly as early as October, and then I do think Celtic will end up finishing second in the long run. I just can't imagine how Celtic would be allowed to finish third. I think that the manager would just get changed. They would spend big in January. I just don't see them not finishing second. But I do think Aberdeen will be close. And I do think Aberdeen will probably... I think when the season's done, I think Aberdeen will be within 10 points of Celtic in second place. But I just can't put them above them. I'm going to be realistic, guys. I can't do it. I'm going to go with Aberdeen. in third place. Probably makes no surprise who I'm going to put in second. Of course, it's going to be the Glasgow Rangers. No, it's not. It's going to be the green and white shite. It's going to be Celtic. They're garbage. They're fucking terrible. But are they bad enough to finish below second? I don't see it. I really don't. I mean, they could, but I don't see it. I think it'll be close, but I do think they'll do enough in the end to stay above Aberdeen. And then in first place, it's going to be Rangers. They're going to make it title 56. Whether I like it or not, guys, they are the best team in Scotland by a country mile. Arguably, they've got the best team in every position. You know, you can certainly make a case for McGregor being the best goalkeeper in the league. I don't think you can make a case for any other team having a better defence than Rangers. I mean, you could combine all the defenders from the 11 other teams, and I don't think it would get close to Rangers' defence. I mean, the defence speaks for itself. Last season, barely conceded a goal, so you can't really knock that. Midfield is possibly where I think Rangers are the weakest. Could be the midfield, but still on form, you'd take the Rangers midfield over any other midfield. You would have to. And plus, they could still make a couple more signings. They could maybe, who knows? Maybe they could lose a player. Maybe they could lose a Kamara. Maybe they could lose a Hadji. But they could certainly bring in a player or two before the season starts. And up front, you know, Morelos might go, but they've got enough firepower in those areas. And Rangers will win the league, guys. You've heard it here first. So this is my prediction then. Ross County to get relegated, St Mirren 11th, Livingston 10th, Dundee 9th, Dundee United 8th, Motherwell 7th, St Johnstone 6th, Hearts 5th, Hibernian 4th, Aberdeen 3rd, Celtic 2nd, Rangers 1st. That is it, guys. That is my predictions from Son of Scotland TV. Thanks for watching. We'll find out at the end of the season whether they've been true or not. Probably not. I talk a lot of shite. I don't get a lot of things right, but I think I might get some of these correct. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Till next time, bring on the new season and peace.